My name is Edgar Tin Yong, and this is my website. As usual, we are going to talk about Feng Shui, and this is the 11th video. I'm supposed to post every 2 days, but because yesterday was a bit busy, so I didn't post any video. So actually this morning, someone contacted me and asked me about the video. Well, never mind, sometimes maybe 2 days, sometimes maybe 3 days, but I will keep doing this. Thank you for tuning in, and hope you are well and stay safe wherever you are. Today, of course, we're still going to talk about Feng Shui. And from this video on, we're going to talk about forms. Remember from the very beginning, we talked about the Feng Shui. There's 4 areas we need to study. Is the Yin, Lei, Fa, Fo. This 4 area, the Yin means the form, the shape which you can see, you can touch, you can smell, you can hear. Those are form. And then the Li Qi, that's form. And that's Li Qi. We talked about this before. And that's the way, how you implement, any way to try to make it better, any implementation way that will help. And the 4 or Ke is day selection. That's day selections, okay? So with each area underneath, there's still another different area to study. For example, the day selection, there's a few different methods. They have, the 5 elements day selection. They have the hollow day selection. They have called the star and moon selection. There's many different schools underneath here. The way, the way to implement Feng Shui, there's many different methods as well. Sometimes we have to be more creative to work out the situation. And Li Qi also some people refer as a compass Li Qi. So there's different compass schools, like the 8 mention or Ba Zai, or flying star, facing, 三合, harmony, triple harmony combination. And then there's a 三元, 闲空大卦, 圆空大卦. There are different methods, different Li Qi, different compass like method how to tilt the good energy for the house, for the homes. And then in the shape, the forms. Underneath, they also have a few areas we need to look at. The first one is the Long, which is the dragon, and then the dragon dance, and then the Sa. Sa means a small hill or small rock or small object nearby is called Sa. And then Sui, water. So water, and burial place. We're talking about burial place here. How the water coming? They're coming from the left, coming from the right, coming from the front, or coming from the back and then turn to the front. This is the water we have to look at, from which direction it's coming in. We'll get into that, yeah. And then with this, the other one is the direction, how you facing the burial place, or how you face the house. So some people, some Feng Shui system, they use the mountain, like pilgrimage mountain, the Qiushan, like they facing to the burial place, and you use that Qiushan. And or some use the water, 以水立向. So this part in the Yin Feng Shui means burial place. It's very important. But in the urban living now, we hardly can find the dragon, We can hardly find the dragon then. Sa, yes. Water, yes, okay. And facing direction. So actually it's more important to look at this few things from the form point of view. So in the forms, and all this Li Qi, weight and day selection, they have a lot of sub area need to study, and this sub area sometimes have something in common. So that's why, you know, in the past video I talk about the yin and yang, the san chai, which is this trinity, or the heaven, earth, and man, their distribution, and then the 4 direction, 5 element, you know, 6 combination, or, you know, 7 clash. All these things, they have something in common. Like if you want to select a day selection, you do not select a clash day. To activate the Li Qi, or the way we're doing that, we don't want to clash with someone, so they are in common. So the 24 mountain, Bagua, 5 element, they are very important. That's why we discuss that in the, you know, the previous 10 videos. So now we are going to talk about forms, right? For forms, of course, the important thing also will be down to the 5 elements. So for those who not really understand what the 5 elements means, it's like 5 is like water, they will produce wood element, and wood they produce fire, and fire they produce earth, and earth they produce metal, and metal produce water. So that's in this cycle. So shape has element as well. The shape, you know, the shape. So water, we talk about in the maybe the 9th video or 8th video, we talk about the 9 star. The 9 star, they divide into 9 shapes. But in the 5 element, we talk about only 5 shapes. So the water is like a wave, right? The wood is like this, more taller object. So for example, the wood, if you live in Melbourne, Eureka Tower is one of the wood element, wood energy building. Taiwan 101, in Taipei 101 is a wood element of building. And then fire is tall as well, like that, and also very, you know, sharp fire, like very pointy. That's 5 element. So maybe it's a bit more sharper than that. So for fire is more for performance, like fire, the performance, art. So if you look at Melbourne, the art center, it is like that shape, right? The art center, the tower. And then if you look at Sydney Opera House, they also, no, I don't draw it very nicely here, but you can see that sharp angle, that's fire. So it's more for performance, venue. So if let's say an architect designing performance venue for performance arts, then maybe if they design some fire shape like this as well, you know, then will be benefit that premises or the area, that building will be support this kind of activities. So earth element is like this, you know, like this, like very flat. And if you've ever been to Canberra, you know, Canberra, the Royal Australian Mint, you know, so Royal Australian Mint is like that. So earth is actually symbolize wealth. So Australian Mint, or you can Google Australian Mint, the shape is very rectangular, squarish, and also the rooftop is flat. And then metal will be round shape like that, will be like that. So metal will be round, is more powerful, the metal is power. So you can see a mountain like that, or you can see the oval, the oval. The oval, like Aussie rule. If you look at Aussie rule, for those who are not familiar with Australian sport, like Aussie rule, they're kicking the Australian footy, the oval is round. But if you look at more like soccer, the soccer is more like, soccer field is more like squarish, and the spectator, they are more on this rectangular shape. But in the Australian rule, if you look at the oval, not oval, the playground is round, it's kind of round, and round is power, metal is power. So you compare with soccer and Australia, they play a bit more stronger, more powerful. And if you look at the round also metal. So metal control wood. So in this case, metal will control the wood. And in the control cycle, so the injury, compare the injury paying the Australian rules is much greater than playing soccer. So you can look at this kind of relationship. And also round, because round is metal. And have you ever noticed, the mosques, the mosques, Islamic mosques, they are round, they're metal, and metal control wood. Wood is here in the Xingguang. Remember the Xingguang? The Xingguang in the southeast. So metal control wood. So the mosques, the lady, they're not going to play in the mosque. So there's some Feng Shui reason there as well. So you can observe. And then water. So water is more like a wave, wave, and will be. We also talk about the water and produce something very intelligent. So although all these are important, yes, of course. How often we see this kind of object? Actually, there's not. We hardly see a house built like that unless they're very special design. But in an urban area, in the urban area, we hardly see that. In the urban area, because the Australia, the local council, the rules, the building code is actually pretty good. You can't build a very tall building, very high building, and then you cannot build a very odd shaped building. So most of the time we will see fire shape, earth shape, and then hardly see water. Metal, yes, sometimes you can see metal. You can see a round, round balcony or round shape or dome type. So the most see is this kind of fire shape. So fire in the 5 element cycle here, the fire actually control metal. So the fire here, they control the metal. Fire control metal, and metal control wood, wood control earth, earth control water, water control fire. So in the center is like a star, and outside is like a cycle enhancement. So as I say, most of the time we're seeing the fire and the earth shape and metal shape. But a lot of time we're seeing fire, because a lot of Australian suburban house, they build this way or like that, the roof pointed to you. So this is considered as fire, seeing the fire. So if you see the fire from your door, like, let me rub this out and draw another, let's say a house here. If your house also like that, then fire and fire. Okay. My opposite side, my over the streets of my house, that is this shape, pointing to me. Luckily, my house, my own house, the rooftop is flat. It's a flat roof. It's a flat roof. That means this become earth. So fire promotes, enhance earth. So it's good. So not to worry. If someone, their house is fire and fire, like fire shape, and that's fire is fighting. And what you can do, that actually as a way you can do to transform this energy, or to reduce this energy, is by putting an earth object in the middle, in the center. Like I believe, if you go out for a walk, and you will see sometimes from some people, their gate, the gate, let's say they have there's a fence here, there's a fence at the other side, and then they build a flat roof gate. So this flat roof here, they will help you to transform this fire energy into earth energy. Some master will teach you to hang a mirror, to face that, but I hardly use that. So the best way is to do this, to do this, but you cannot make this sharp pointy to a house. Like, you cannot do this to point to your house. Like, this is like your house here, then there's a door. You don't want this corner, this sharp to point. You want to put it like on this way, like this one here, like on this way. So that is the best way to help with this fire. Secondly, is we can use another method. It's called water. Remember, we say there's a controlling. So if you see the next door neighbor, the roof pointing to you, you can put a water features here. Let's say this is your house. This is your house. Maybe it will be a bit wider, to your house. Then you can put a water feature in front of your house here. So this water here, it not only serves as some wealth to this house, but it also will, control, suppress the fire energy here. So I think today we're going to stop here, and then the next couple of days I will do more about the forms. So let's stop here and see you next time.